Hello students, welcome back. Today we are going to revise the topic number 2 of chapter number 2, that is about the female reproductive parts and types of pollination. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the gynosium. Gynosium is the female reproductive part. In the previous topic we discussed about the male reproductive part, and in this video we are going to discuss about the female reproductive part, that is gynosium. Gynosium is made up of pistil or carpels, right? So carpel is composed of mainly three parts. Carpel is composed of mainly three parts, right? That is stigma, style and ovary. Let's say this is, there can be presence of single carpel or many carpels. If single carpel is present, it is called as monocarpellary. If more than one carpel is present, it is referred as multicarpellary. It can be bicarpellary, tricarpellary. Okay. If presence of two, it is bicarpellary. If presence of more than two, it is referred as multicarpellary. Now, the parts of the carpel, the place or the tip of the carpel where the pollen lands, that means a receptive surface for the pollen, is referred as stigma. A slender stalk beneath the stigma is referred as style, and the broad part at the base, right, or swollen part at the base is referred as ovary. Ovary bears ovarian cavity. This ovarian cavity contains the ovules. Okay, so this is the first part, that is the carpel. Now we should discuss about the structure of the ovule. Ovule is also referred as megasporangium, right? So outermost structure. For example, this is the placenta of the ovary, a cushion-like structure on which the ovule develops. That is called as placenta. And the arrangement of ovules in the ovary, right, is referred as placentation. Cushion-like structure is present on the inner wall of the ovary, to which the ovules are developed by a slender stalk or a stalk-like structure referred as funicle. So let's say this is the structure of the ovule. Ovule is covered. Ovule is covered by one or two protective coat referred as integuments, right? So outer structure ovule is having a protective coat called as integuments, that are one or two layer integuments. This is referred as funicle. Now the place where the funicle joins the ovule forms a hilum. So this part can be said as hilum, right? So we can label over here like this. This is hilum. Now, integuments are one or two layer protective coat. They are continuous except one part, that is the tip of the ovule, forming a micropyle. The opening is referred as micropyle, right? At the tip of the ovule, it leaves a pore referred as micropyle. So these are two layered integuments, right? After that, after that, inner to it, there is a mass of the cell called as nucellus. There is a mass of cells referred as nucellus. They are abundant in food reserve, right? They store the food. It nucellus layer encloses the embryo sac, right? So this one is referred as embryo sac. Now the end where the micropyle is present is referred as micropylar end. Opposite side is referred as chalazal end. Now let's understand the megasporogenesis. Talking about the megasporogenesis, what is megasporogenesis? Formation of megaspores from megaspore mother cell is referred as megasporogenesis, right? So megaspore mother cell is to an megaspore mother cell is to an, right, diploid in nature. We are seeing the megasporogenesis. This undergoes meiosis. So let's say this is a megaspore. When it undergoes meiosis, it will form first two cells. Outer one there is a nucellus, right, and outer to it is integument. So this is the meiosis one. It results in haploid stage because it undergoes meiosis one. Further, it divides to form 4 megaspores. Out of this, 3 degenerate. This is meiosis 2, where chromosome number remains same. It is a type of equational division. So this is meiosis 2. 3 degenerates. 1 is left, which is referred as functional megaspore. This functional megaspore undergoes, this is N. So let's say this is embryo sac. This functional megaspore undergoes free nuclear division 3 times. So first, free nuclear division, that means cell division does not follow the nuclear division. Free nuclear division, how many times? 3 times. So it will first bring, first division will result in 2 nucleus, that is from 1 nucleus divides into 2 nucleus. These all are haploid, 3 were degenerated. When 3 gets degenerated and 1 functional megaspore is there, it is referred as monosporic development. It is referred as monosporic development. Now this undergoes free nuclear division for 3 times. So 2 nucleus are formed. Then again it divides to form 4 nucleus. Then again it divides to form 8 nucleus. Though how many times division occurs? 3 times. 2 nucleated condition will be seen, 4 nucleated condition will be seen, and 8 nucleated condition will be seen. Now let's see the arrangement in the embryo sac. So let's say this is an embryo sac. 3 nucleus gets arranged at towards the chalazal end. This is chalazal end, right? So 3 nucleus gets arranged towards, and then it undergoes the cell division. Let's show first only the arrangement and then I will explain about the division. This is 3 nucleus are getting, 3 on the opposite side, that is towards the micropylar, and 2 in the center. So total number of nucleus becomes 8. Now this undergoes cell division to form how many cells? See, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is the last cell, that is referred as central cell. So these are referred as antipodals, that are haploid. These 2 are referred as synergids, right? These are also haploid. This is egg cell, that is also haploid, and this one is central cell. Central cell is always 2n. Why? Because two nucleus are present in a cell. So these two are referred as egg apparatus. These two are referred as egg apparatus. Okay. Now talking about this, let's see that how many cells are there. Total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 cells. And how many nucleus? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 nucleated condition is observed. So this is about the female reproductive part. Now we will discuss about the pollination. Okay. Let's see the topic, that is pollination. Now you are familiar with the term pollination. What is pollination? Pollination is transfer of pollen from the anther to the stigma is referred as pollination. Right? Transfer of pollen from anther to stigma is referred as pollination. Now they are divided into mainly three types. First two are included in self pollination, while the next one is referred as cross pollination. So first about the self pollination is autogamy. What happens in autogamy? When there is a transfer of, let's say this is a flower, this is the female reproductive part, and this one is the male reproductive part. So when the anther from the when the pollen from the anther of the same flower lands on the stigma of the same flower, right? When the pollen from the anther to the stigma of the same flower, that is referred as autogamy, right? Okay, so this is, we are here using the word same flower, that is referred as autogamy, that is self marriage. Okay, transfer of the pollen from the anther to the stigma of the same flower is referred as autogamy. Autogamy, there are two adaptations in case of autogamy. One is homogamy. One is homogamy. In that homogamy, we can say that the maturity time, means the release of the anther as well as the receptivity of the stigma is synchronized, means both occurs at the same time, so that the self pollen can germinate on the stigma and it results in autogamy. Next one is cleistogamy. Next one is cleistogamy. In case of cleistogamy, a plant bears two types of flower. One which opens at maturity. Now these flowers in plants like Commelina, Viola, Oxalis plants bears two types of flower. One is chasmogamous, which opens at maturity, and second is cleistogamous, which does not open at maturity. So when it does not opens, definitely the self pollen is only going to germinate. Why? Because extra pollens are not going to come from outside. In this, all the possible things can occur: autogamy, gytonogamy, as well as xenogamy. Why? Because the flower is open, right? These are aerial flowers, these are underground flowers. So in this compulsory self pollination, that is autogamy, will only occur. Okay. Next one is gaitonogamy. In case of gaitonogamy, the plant is same but flowers are different. Transfer of the pollen from anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of the same plant. See, I have kept the plant same. This is the anther of another flower. Transfer of the pollen is occurring from anther of the another flower to the stigma of another flower. But the plant is same. That is referred as gaitonogamy. That is neighbor marriage. Now third one is cross pollination. That is xenogamy, where you can see the genetic variations. Right? Why? Because the plants are different. Transfer of pollen from anther of one flower of one plant or another plant to the flower of another plant. So plants are when getting different, you can find the genetic variation. So this was about the types of pollination. Thank you.